All right, welcome back. Today we're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to start off on the hourly chart. We're going to see what to focus on, the rest of today, going into the monthly close. We're going to look at the daily, the weekly, and obviously the monthly to see the bigger picture. So let's get going. Bitcoin just now, as of about an hour ago, above 20K. Now what do we do, right? What is going on the past couple of days, right? We've been forming this kind of a breakout pattern. So maybe you've seen this. Look at it's pretty clear cut breakout level here, right? So you have your uptrend, right, higher lows, and you want to make sure you draw these right. How do you check and make sure you've drawn your bottom trend line? Put it on a line chart, right, and it should be connected right to your points. You want to be drawing those trend lines from the bottom on your closes, your red candle closes, right? Nothing else. And then your top lines, right? Just make sure you're right at the green candle closes, right? Because greens close on top, reds close on bottom, right? Nice clear cut breakout pattern here. So if you missed this move, right? If you caught it, great, good on you. If you didn't, should you buy now or wait? Well, you really need to be buying at support levels. You buy or long at support, you short or sell at resistance. Excuse me. Most people do that opposite, right? And you feel the FOMO appear and you start buying, but now you're starting to come into at least the short term kind of froth zone here, right? From previous levels, right? That's why we're kind of hesitating. So if we, Bitcoin's looking a little bit more bullish than has been over the past, couple weeks. So do we come back and kind of test and bounce off of this level? Well, that's kind of what, if you're looking to long Bitcoin, this is kind of the level you want to see kind of retest. And then you start, if you want to long, right, you do it kind of around 19.6. And you say, well, what if we go back below that, Chase? Then what? Then we're done, right? No, because you have your stop loss maybe just right under like 19.5, 19.4, whatever your risk tolerance is. Or if you want to get real cute, just right under this, ascending wedge, this bottom trend line, right in this area, right? So if you come down here, right, you buy, and you think Bitcoin's going to bounce, right? Which, odds on this, pattern playing out, it's greater than not, right? So that if you're wanting to long Bitcoin, you can't really do it here, right? You've already missed a good chunk of the move. On the shorter time frames, right? The shorter time frames. So wait for a throwback down here to support, right? If it comes, right? There we could just continue to move here and then tear up again, right? So this could happen as well. The opposite could also take effect, right? Because I feel like a lot of people kind of expect another drop back down. So if we come back down here, great. If we just consolidate and you see us start to break above like 20,400 here, right? This previous candle, then we're kind of reversing the up and down patterns and we're looking more bullish than not. So above like this candle wick here, 20,400, and we're probably going stronger, right? Now we could range in here for the rest of the day, for the rest of the weekend. But if we come back down here, right, that's at support. You're long there. That's how you do it. Do not try to get caught in the trap in the FOMO, right? That's how you lose money very quickly. So that's kind of what I'm looking at all for the next couple days, going into the rest of today. The daily close, the weekly close, the monthly close, all happens relatively soon, right? So what we talked about in our last video is we'd love to see a daily close above the EMA 8, which we hadn't done since our massive meltdown here, right? Day after day, we're on the daily chart now, so this is a minute here, right? We're a couple weeks here without a single daily close. Got a sign there. We thought for sure here with no single daily closes above the EMA 8, and then we got it right just 2 days ago, September 28th, right? So now we're starting to confirm in a breakout mode here, right? We're starting to cross the moving averages back. If you put on a line chart, I mean, look at this, right? So you can keep it simple, right? Put on a line chart, connect the bottoms, and see if you got any kind of pattern forming here, right? So make sure you get the damn tool clicked correctly. It's just does not want to go. Oh, you got to click the right tool. So you got to continue, right? Draw it from the bottoms, and you can see how this is starting to change the momentum, right? The momentum's trying to form this rounded bottom. So you don't always have to overcomplex, make it too complex and look at 78 different indicators. So, support and resistance can be your best friend. So looking at this chart on the daily, right, we're not out of the woods yet because you still see a kind of a macro level here. We could be looking at kind of a head and kind of a shoulders kind of pattern playing out, and we could still drop lower. So we really need to take out like 22.5 for me to feel a little bit more comfortable. The 100-day EMA, right? This blue line, we need to be watching that. That's what I'd be watching for the next handful of days to weeks. But certainly the signs are there that Bitcoin's trying to move back to the upside, but we need to take out this high, 22.5. I'd say if we close like above the EMA 34, the orange line, right? Recognize that we haven't done that, but briefly right here, right? So if we break, if we close above 20K, I would say we probably at least make a run to 22.5. That would kind of be my odds on favorite. Or the 100-day EMA. So watch one or both of those over the weekend if we continue this move. So let's zoom out a little bit more. Let's go look at the weekly. Then we can see the a little bit bigger picture here. Right now, this is a little bit more bullish to me because now look back at this pattern when we fell down, initially from November, and we started making this channel, right? This is a bear flag, right? And we confirmed that and broke down again. But now we started a new one here, right? And on this one, we're almost like at a falling wedge on a macro weekly scale. So we could potentially break out here on a bigger picture that we've been setting up from since we broke out of the bear flag back in here, right? We've talked about this before, but this is not this, right? This is when you go up, right? That's a bearish sign. We're falling. This is it's counterintuitive to regular human psychology, but this is certainly on the weekly chart, right? We're not on the hourly anymore, so this is more of a bullish thing starting to form, but we're still not convinced, right? We're kind of, we could still go the other way because you could also argue like this is a relatively flat bottom here, right? You could even draw it from this low, right? And then you see we've kind of dipped just under there. This is also kind of a little bit of a bullish thing. If you study any kind of chart patterns, this is kind of a bottom where you kind of briefly go below the previous low, take it out, and then almost instantly recover. That's a bottoming pattern. So potential, right? Potential. Everything's potential until it confirms. So will this be a one of those? Well, we don't know until we make a new high. So that is all the way up here at like 24.3, right? You see that? These are closes, right? So the wicks and the candles, right? That can do everything. Looks a little bit different on the closes, right? The line chart like this only updates on the close. So you might wonder, like, what this looks lower than that, right? But the low is in, right? That was a wick, right? The only updates there. So now you know. So I'll be looking for a close, 2 weekly closes above the EMA 8, right? This takes time, right? This is the bigger picture. So this is what I'll be looking for. Close above 20, the EMA 8 right now. Let's get an exact number here. So 20,600, right? That's going to be your resistance zone on the weekly. If we can blast through that, that's a big sign. The Bitcoin's trying to erupt in the Bitcoin volcano, whatever that means. So that's what I'll be watching for today, tomorrow, and the months ahead. Rest of Q4. Q4 starts tomorrow, right? But note where have we shown major resistance? The EMA 14. There's one, the weekly, right? Then where would the next one be? The EMA 14. There's two. So we've hit two tags of the EMA 14. Which, in a bear market, those are usually reversal points. Those can be, in a bull market, those can be reversal points going to the upside. So you can see even back here, right? EMA 8 and 14. Unlikely that you're getting closes below or above that, in a bear market or below that in a bull market. If you start to do that, a bigger trend is changing. So if we can close above the EMA 14, 22K as of now, right? Sliding down, trying to flatten out. But 22K for the weekly, if we close above that, things are shifting, right? That would also take out this peak. This one closed at 21,865. So a lot of big things to be watching for. Not a whole lot of people are going to be paying attention to that level, but you will, right? 22K, right? That's bigger than just a round number, right? That's multiple things happening. That would take out the EMA 14. That would take out the previous high. That would start to reverse this downtrend that we've been in. Right, that would be very bigly, in the words of Mr. Orange. So So now let's, as promised, let's look at the monthly, right? Because the month closes, right? The monthly closes in 8 hours. 8 hours, or it may be already closed by the time you watch this, for the 4 of you that are still interested in watching. So now, interesting, right? 1 month close right at, where's that close? 19,985. Another month close right at 20K. Where are we now? Right there. We're right at this bottom. Hopefully this bottom, right? If you're a bear, then obviously you want lower prices. If you switch over to the closes, there's no reason for it to like reverse here, right? There's no support here at all whatsoever. Your support levels are, minor support right there at 14K on the monthly, right? We're on the monthly, a little bit bigger, right? You could probably draw a zone here, right? We've talked about this before as well. Looking somewhere between, 12K to 10K, right? You could even draw it down even lower if you wanted, right? On the monthly, I mean, there's your volume, right? There's your liquidity. It's unlikely that we go below that if we get a massive flush down. I know that that's a hell of a long way lower than where we are now, right? Over 50% if we go down here, right? But just based on TIA and the monthly, right? We could reverse there, but historically we've never really gone down to here again. So maybe on the monthly close we hold true to that and we kind of reverse here. Maybe we end up flashing down. Dipping down on the candles. Maybe we end up wicking down here and like wicking off 14K, then like super recovery. Your guess is as good as mine. There's those that don't know and those that don't know that don't know. Tongue tie. You got it. So that's looking at the monthly for Bitcoin, right? Bigger picture, right? Let's look at it one real briefly, quick fleeting moment. Let's take off the Bollinger Band so we can get some actual information here. And then look, going all the way back to 2015, nice big waves, right? We've had plenty of drawdown. We don't have to go any lower, right? There's no rhyme or reason that we would need to. We've done plenty. Let's see what we're down over almost 75%, right? The average is about 80% over, historically in bear markets. You're probably well aware of that by now. But we're kind of right there. We don't have to go any lower. I mean, look at the top of the wick here, right? 20K. Right? Will this end up holding? Right? Time will tell. Rear view mirrors are always easy to see. But better to start dollar cost averaging maybe somewhere right in here, right? Who knows if we end up going down anymore or not. So don't be too deterministic in your thinking. Follow the price charts, follow the price tells you the news, right? Forget about what anyone says, even me, right? Just follow the price, right? The price is the price. Trying to forecast will usually get you caught off guard more ways than one. So watch this for today. Let's see what the hourly is doing. Looks like it's trying to come back down a little bit for now. But remember what we talked about, right? 19.6 is support. So if we come back and hold that area, I will be adding to my position on along there, right there. So now G.I. Joe, knowing's half the battle. A champion, quote of the day, a champion is someone who gets up when he can't. Oh, I do want to show you one more thing. Remember that quote for no reason. So going back to Bitcoin, bigger things brewing here, right? This is the Fisher Transform. We're looking on the weekly. Going back to almost 2020, right? We're almost way back here, right? December 2020, kind of our peak on our drawdown on the weekly. This is the weekly. So this is what has got me interested, right? We're looking at kind of these peaks, this downtrend, right? We've been in a downtrend on this since almost 2020. So, I mean, look at making lower highs, lower lows, right? But what happens if we go up to like 22, 23, 24, right? This would likely reverse. So I'm watching this on the weekly close. This should update. We'll see if we can get a kind of a trigger. I'm waiting for a trigger here. Right, when the blue crosses the orange, if we get that before coming down here, right, the odds, right, if you're just following this pattern, the odds is we're just going to keep riding this down into almost 2023, right? That would be kind of what we've been doing for quite literally years, right? Just bouncing in this channel. But what happens if we cross here and then start to break out? Probably going to take 30 days if we do that to get the actual breakout, but this would certainly break this, couple year pattern here, going into Q4 of 2022, going all the way back to Q4 Q1 of 2021, Q4 of 2020. So I'll be watching that on the bigger picture for a breakout there. We're looking to break, kind of that, this peak right here, right? We want to reverse this trend, make a higher high for the first time in a long time, right? Besides this kind of, M pattern fake out here, right? So we're looking at that on the bigger picture, right? Just I like to throw in little bonuses for those that watch to the end. The daily, right? It's important to watch this too, like for on the lower time frames. Lower time frames looking a little bit more bullish, right? We're making higher lows, right? We're drawing an uptrend there. So I would be looking to break out of kind of that area. Reverse these trends, right? Watch these trends on, we broke down here, right? That was a sign of trouble back in August. That was over a month ago. So shorter time frames. Even go to the hourly, right? Let's remove that. Let's look at the hourly even. I mean, we got a little pattern forming here on the hourly. So we got, we're kind of at a decision point. We're coming down to a bigger decision move, maybe, right? So look at this. So maybe we go in through tomorrow, but maybe we get a breakout or breakdown, right? We're kind of right in the center here. So this can be helpful to add to your toolkit if you're still watching Fisher Transform. Pretty good stuff on this one. This is an unbounded oscillator, so it can go to any number you want. Don't confuse it with, stochastic or any other kind of bounded indicator. This is unbounded. It can go to any number. Obviously, the higher, the more bullish, the lower, the more bearish. So we're looking at some good stuff, possibly brewing on all time frames for Bitcoin. So little bonus there. Watching for this to retouch kind of 19.6 for today. Bitcoin's looking more bullish than not after this breakout, right? It's been forming this since way back 2 days ago. The 28th on the hourly chart, but still you gotta, it's worth paying attention to the hourly every now and again, right? Because you can get these like little bullish patterns setting up. Maybe something bigger setting up that we don't know about yet. So we'll see. 20K is kind of the level to kind of flip. 20,400 if you want to be exact and be super safe. If we're above that, we're definitely looking more bullish than that. So I'd be watching for that top wick, a pullback here, and then a bounce. That's the odds, right? It's all you got in crypto. Play the odds. Hopefully you like this video a little bit, learn something. I know it's a little boring. I get that's why I'm not growing that much, but why I'd rather give you the book, the textbook of information rather than the dog and pony show. Is that a thing? So there's whoa, car of the day. Or I can't even think. I don't think you can call this a car. The Mercedes 6x6. That's what Florida needed yesterday, right? Looks like he's in Florida. Hopefully he got out. Lots of damage down in South Florida. Places I vacationed before. Roads completely gone. I mean, entire hotels missing. Houses gone. Like the complete road collapse. But this would have helped. Mercedes 6x6. Here you go again in white. I like it in white. What car for bonuses? If you're into cars, I assume you kind of like cars if you're still watching. What are the cars behind it? I don't know what this is. I'm going with possibly Rolls-Royce. Then this one, Ferrari. Obviously, if you didn't get that one, you're fired. Ferrari 458 Speciale. I'm going with that. I don't know for sure, but that looks like it. This one, kudos if you can get this one. I'm going with Bugatti Chiron right here. I think it's a Bugatti Chiron right there. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let me make it smaller. No. How about this? Oh, that's Mercedes E350 for sure. I used to have one of those. All right. I'll end it there. Have a great weekend. Have a great monthly close. It's happening. Monthly close, weekly close, all in the next handful of hours here. Weekly close is Sunday. I'll see you then. We'll see what that ends up doing. Until then, be safe. You'd be a little bit more safe if you had one of these, I'm guessing. Take the family trip. I usually, Fridays we just load up the fam in the 6x6 and go to Rodeo Drive. I don't know where this is. It's probably somewhere right around there. All right. Have a good one. I'll see you on the next one.